throwing fits, ripping shit, tearing it, imperative. Then I'm killing this mic no matter where I live. These derelict rappers acting a fool, this embarrassing is flagrant. That's the nature of this entertainment, and we can't even change it. Guilty before arraignment, now the system tainted. But when we speak, they all laugh at us. And y'all wonder why I'm lacking trust. Try to fight a giant with attorneys that can back them up. That's church versus science, both sides start acting up. I'm late on my assignment, hopping up a mile high, climbing. Obviously never silent, new alignment, I'm defiant, cannot describe it. Used to describe it as a young graffiti artist. Before the beard, I always got carded. Hit every bar, even though my bar has been the hardest. The scars on my face, and I ain't always been the smartest. But I'll show you where my heart is. I said I'll show you where my heart is. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, even if the beat stops my soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, we made it to another Tuesday. Little sports nonsense and whiskey hanging with the fellas. Robert Pinky, how are we doing this evening?
Oh man, we're living life. We're living life. Trying to better ourselves in more ways than one.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
I love the new big boy bed that you got there.
Isn't it nice? It's very comfy. It's very comfy. I'm very proud.
Moving up in the world.
Hey, you know, it's better than not like having to choose a side because there's a giant like slit in the middle because it's not a real bed. Like I've gotten some of the best sleep I've had in the last year and some change. So it's been nice. It's been nice.
Yeah, solid.
Awesome,
Good.
Buddy. Awesome.
Yeah. Makes
Ooh, how we doing, boys?
So much better.
Good, man. Good. A lot of
Actually,
football.
I got to talk about that. I cannot lay in my bed and watch a movie. Cannot do it.
Well, it sounds like that's a personal
Nope.
problem.
It's weird to me. I can't do it.
I mean,
Can't do it.
I have like there is a movie chair, and then
I mean,
I'm not feeling it.
I hate to say it, but I kind of judge people who lay in bed and watch a movie. Like
it depends.
I think the question is, what is wrong with you?
Well, hang on. I get what
Yeah,
you're saying.
no, absolutely.
I get it. I get it.
What's wrong with laying in arguably the most comfortable spot in your home and enjoying the film?
Asleep.
yeah.
I mean, if you fall asleep, that's on you. I'm just saying, like,
My head doesn't hit my pillow unless I'm ready for bed. I'm not sitting there watching TV. I'm not sitting there watching movies.
oh no,
So.
man, my favorite thing in the world used to be falling asleep with Sports Center on.
I mean,
in
that's
my
what
bed.
I'll put on Family Guy or whatever, and I'll just
Yeah.
crash.
Right.
I got that sleep timer on the TV.
Yeah.
Click that bad boy on, and I just let it go.
Well, boys, are we ready?
Yeah.
We got a lot to get through.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk. What are y'all talking about, NFL or what? Coming out quick.
NFL.
Yeah, we're getting there, buddy. We're getting there. Hold on.
We're just getting started.
I'm just setting it up. All right. But appreciate you. Let's see here. Let me get my screen. All right. I know we got a lot to talk about the NFL. We got some amazing matchups. But I think, and we don't look back very often, but we got to talk about Wild Card Weekend, man. Wild Card Weekend was wild. So, talk about it, Caleb.
Dude, the only bad game was Monday night.
Just go ahead and talk. Just talk about it. The whole thing. Just lay it out there. It was a weekend of football and wins and losses and heartbreak and excitement and yeah, you know, all those things.
Best game of the weekend. Oh. I know the right answer, by the way.
Oh.
It definitely wasn't the Chargers Patriots, so I gotta go with
probably the Bills Jags.
What is it, Pink?
Best game was the first game, Rams and Panthers, and it wasn't supposed to be. Everybody's like, that's why it was the first game on at like 2:30. That like nobody cares game, and that was really the best game of the weekend. Back and forth. I think 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter. That was awesome. And then Stafford. Like they've got Stafford mic'd up saying, "Let's go steal their soul." Like that was savage. So that was the best game of the weekend. It's Rams Panthers, so again, it doesn't have the same gravitas.
Why would you say that was better than Bills Jags?
Because I liked it more as the Rams were the team we felt like was going to win, and yet the Panthers kept fighting and they kept taking the lead, and then the Rams kept coming. Like, it was back and forth the entire fourth quarter.
So good.
It was really, all the other games have like their moments. Like the fourth quarter of the Bears, the whole game was different. You know, it was
Bears
tale of
had
two
them
halves,
right where they wanted them the whole time.
Tale of two halves. The Jags-Bills game, it's a good game. And yeah, it had some movement in the fourth quarter, but
those last 5 minutes were wild.
That the Rams-Panthers game was, the whole second half was wild. So I thought that was the best game of the weekend.
What would you take away from Wild Card Weekend if you're a losing team moving forward? Let's do quick hits. Eagles, what would you take away?
Well, they already fired their offensive coordinator, so they're making some changes there. You've got that dysfunctional AJ Brown relationship. They got to get him out of there. I just don't think he fits with the team mentality.
Okay. Panthers.
You know, I don't think people thought they should be there, because they shouldn't. They lost their way into the playoffs, and yet they showed up again at points of the season. People thought the Rams were the best team in the league. So they really played their hearts out. And I'd say there's still a lot of additional chess pieces you could add to that board to make the Panthers a better team.
Green Bay.
Do we have to start rethinking our feelings on Matt LaFleur?
Okay.
Matt LaFleur is one of the winningest coaches in the regular season in the last decade. And yet when it comes to playoff time, it doesn't quite happen. Who'd you say next? Jacksonville?
Jags.
I'd probably treat it like that reporter did. It's okay, coach. We're going to be back here again. You did a great job. I mean, Liam Cohen, when he said Duval, we all thought he was going to fail miserably. Yeah. He was going to be out quick. And
that Jacksonville journalist is just getting ripped for that. And I think that's crap.
In today's society, I don't understand why giving someone some encouragement in a tough moment is a bad thing.
So I lean more towards Dan Patrick, and I think it is inappropriate for her to do so in that situation. That's something that she could have done behind closed doors to the coach himself after the press conference. During the press conference, there's a relationship there that should be honored and a job that should be done. And I don't feel like she did her job. So while I don't hate what she did, I do think she more used that as a moment to kind of shine a light on her rather than what it was of offering the coach a congratulatory year. That's my take on it.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Pittsburgh.
Same old.
Pittsburgh's screwed, man.
They are. Because they have to trade for a head coach.
They don't have to trade for a head coach. Pittsburgh traditionally will find an assistant coach that they feel is ready to take the job. Now, they've only had 3 coaches in the last 30, 40 years, but they're not usually one to hire a retread. They usually find an assistant that's ready to go. So we might have to discuss that a little bit. But I just I knew before that game started that the Texans were going to crush the Steelers. I talked about it last week. I think Aaron Rodgers finished the game, but he probably shouldn't have.
I would disagree that they crushed them.
I mean, the score.
I feel like moved the ball at times. They had opportunities that they couldn't convert. That Houston should feel lucky they came out of that game alive.
Well, as bad as
really good defense.
As bad as the Houston offense was, the Steelers offense was worse.
Yeah. LA.
LA's a tough one because I feel like there should be some optimism because they had so many dudes hurt. But that's been the story the last 5 years, that like they always have guys hurt. At some point they gotta figure out what they're doing, because they're always struggling with injuries. They still, and again, maybe we're all too high on Justin Herbert. I don't know. He just never.
Ready for this? Philly, you got to make your decision if Jalen Hurts is your guy or not. You either need to cut bait this offseason, or you need to completely know that your system needs to be built around him, whatever that means. Whether he can't handle a full NFL offense and it needs to be dumbed down, or he can and you just weren't running it, I don't care. Figure it out and make your decision this offseason and then move forward.
Damn, Caleb.
Carolina.
For the throat.
Carolina, you need to get your defense together, because that offense has proven it can control some clock. Bryce Young can be a game manager in a good way. You got to stop letting people put points on the board and see if that run game and that game manager can do something. So invest in it. Trading Brian Burns a couple years ago makes your head scratch a little bit. So make sure you do the right things in the draft in the offseason. Green Bay, you need to find a true number one. A.J. Brown might be it, but you need one. Somebody that can stay on the field healthy all the time. And then you need to find some dudes to plug the middle on your defense. That's what you should be doing in the draft. Jacksonville, I would like to say figure it out, but I think they kind of did. They just need to fill in some pieces, draft free agency. You do that correctly, they come back next year, they could be just as good, if not better. Pittsburgh, I know this isn't your cup of tea, but this is your perfect opportunity to hard reset. You won't do it. It's completely against everything you've ever stood for. But if you want to continue to be a dominant franchise in the Pittsburgh Steelers, now is when you hit the reset button. And LA, you better figure out how to stay healthy. Because if that offensive line is healthy at the end of this season, I don't think there's any question about people talking about Justin Herbert as a top 10 quarterback, and I think they move past New England pretty easily. New England should be a little worried after that game, because a very depleted LA Chargers team was in that game until late in the fourth quarter. So let's see what happens.
So let's talk about Mike Tomlin deciding to resign today, step down.
Did he decide? Today. Was it mutual? Was it forced? And it was, hey, I did step down.
I think it's a little bit of both.
What did I say 2 weeks ago? Last week, maybe? Him and Harbaugh, we were talking about it, and I said, based on the way Tomlin had been walking off the field all year with Aaron Rodgers and stuff at the end of the games, it felt like he was ready to make that transition and go. This isn't a surprise to me. I think he's good with, I think Tomlin understands that the situation with Pittsburgh has run its course, and he's ready to move on.
19 years is a long time.
Is anybody going to be willing to trade for him like the Broncos did for Sean Payton? That's what I'm going to be curious to see in a year. A year from now, that's what we need to be watching. But I think he's going to do TV for a year, chill, relax. I don't think he wants any of these jobs that are out there in this cycle. He'll wait until next season and then make a decision. But I could also see him going the Bill Cowher route and being like, you know what? None of those jobs really interest me. I'm having fun with what I'm doing. And then he just kind of perpetually gets stuck into that cycle to where he's just not coming back.
I mean, once you start making some good money, you get to stay at home. It's pretty good living. Yeah. TV is pretty good living. He's done 19 years. So if he never comes back, I mean, I still think he'll end up in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So. He's a Hall of Fame coach, even though he maybe should have won more towards the end of the career there. But
I think in the time since we last hung out and did our podcast, Jim Harbaugh had been not. Is it Jim? John Harbaugh.
John. Jim's in LA. Yeah, John
Harbaugh had been
mutual
fired.
Parting of the ways. I think they both kind of felt they run their course as well. I think it was kind of writing on the wall with both of those coaches. So Harbaugh is going to be coaching this next year, it sounds like, for sure. I think he wants to keep going. He just wanted a new situation. Where he ends up is going to be interesting.
Miami. Going to Miami.
That Miami job is not tempting
I would be shocked
at
if
all.
he went there. I would actually be shocked if he went there.
It depends on how much he trusts Ross as an owner. If he trusts Ross to honor his word with whatever they agree on, and Ross gives him the free reign of what supposedly he's asking for and being able to help select the GM and the direction and all that stuff, Miami could be a great fit. New York is interesting because of the situation with the quarterback and them wanting an established head coach, but it's not a job where I think he gets a long leash.
I think Harbaugh and the Falcons makes sense.
I could see that one.
I think
the Arthur
Ravens
Blank doesn't
might be
get
the
very
best.
long leashes either.
The Ravens job might be the best. Obviously, he can't go there because he was already there. But I think the Falcons have the best opportunity of the teams he could go to. Quarterback, running back, defense showed up well this year. There's a lot to like down there that you have kind of already to get started. Some of these other teams, you really got the cupboard's a little bare in some of these places.
I think Arizona is a sneaky one that people aren't paying attention to with Harbaugh, and it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up there.
Do you think if he does go there, does Kyler Murray stay?
I already said I think Kyler and Tua both get moved this offseason.
But to where? I don't see anyone picking up Kyler at all.
I don't think anybody trades for either of them.
I think they'd pick up Kyler before they pick up Tua, but I didn't necessarily say trade for. Russell Wilson wasn't traded for. So
those boys are getting cut. Nobody wants those contracts. So they're getting cut. They're going to do the cut and then spread it out amongst 2 to 3 seasons. You take your poison and you move on. Hopefully you can draft the quarterback. Arizona's at least in the top 10, I believe, in the draft. Look that up for me, Robert. Help me out. NFL draft order. So,
2026?
Yeah, 2026. I could see the Giants. Giants at least have good ownership. Again, we've talked about it. If you fire the head coach, you should probably fire the GM.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he wants to work with Sheen. That's what would surprise me.
So that's a tough one. It's tough. I don't even know if is Harbaugh still a good coach that can rebuild the team. I don't know. He hasn't really, he's been in Baltimore for so long. He hasn't really had to do it.
I would disagree with that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say he's consistently adapted and changed that team over time.
But they had an established culture in Baltimore. They had established GMs in Baltimore. They had an established system in Baltimore. This is starting ground level of like, hey, I got to bring in my system, my values.
Yeah, but
I've got to change the culture. He hasn't had to change the culture in a very long time.
I think that's the whole point. That's what he wants to do. That's why he wants to help select his own GM. That's why he's talked about the things, or supposedly the rumors out there are, of what he wants, because he's done it this long. He wants to kind of have that control now. I think he feels like he's kind of earned it. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for him being on board with drafting Lamar Jackson and running with that, and being a head coach that was willing to put him in, does Baltimore really get what they got out of Lamar? Do they even draft him? So I think he's getting a little bit of a bad run in a sense. Some of the blame's being put on him where maybe it shouldn't be. But at the same time, if the rumors are true that they were kind of like, hey, kind of want you to stay, but we need you to get rid of Monken, and he said no, that is a little bit telling in the sense that I've been on board that I haven't liked the Monken hire. I thought it was better than Greg Roman, but I still haven't liked what he's been doing. And if that's what Harbaugh decided, then that is concerning. And I personally, if that is true, like if I'm an owner and I talk to Bichetti and I find out that is what happened, I wouldn't want to hire Harbaugh. I would think his vision is no longer there. He's past the times, whatever you want to call it. But that little detail would keep me from hiring him.
If Mike Tomlin wanted to coach next year, I would feel. I don't know if I would want to hire him. I don't know if I want to hire Harbaugh right now.
I wouldn't hire Tomlin either. I think I think Tomlin's a Hall of Fame coach. I've talked about him a lot, how much I think he's a phenomenal coach. But I don't think he wants to deal with a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback. I don't think he wants to try to develop and build. I think he wants established, and I think he wants veterans, and that's not really the kind of franchise I would want to be running.
So,
all right, so draft order. First, we'll go through the top 10. So we've got the Raiders in first, Jets in second, Cardinals third, Titans fourth, Giants fifth, Browns 6, Commanders 7, Saints 8, Chiefs 9, Bengals 10, Dolphins 11.
Wow.
Bengals at 10. There's going to be a lot of offensive and defensive linemen that can get had early in this draft that are going to be really good, and there's teams that are going to need that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes down. I mean, Fernando Mendoza right now, everybody feels like he's the number 1 pick.
I can get rid of that white light.
I still think Dante Moore comes back for another year. Raiola, who just committed to Oregon, sits behind him because he's rehabbing from the broken leg.
And wants to follow in his daddy's footsteps.
What?
He's following Daddy Mahomes because
we're
he wants
still
to go
doing
to Oregon.
that.
Yep. It's just too coincidental.
Mahomes has nothing to do with Oregon. I don't.
No, so there was a picture.
He was wearing an Oregon jersey because Oregon beat Texas Tech.
Yeah, and so there was a picture going around of it, just him wearing.
So now the coincidence
is
that's why Raiola went to Oregon instead of Texas Tech because Mahomes had to wear the jersey. Yeah, it's a
whole thing.
Mahomes.
It's a whole thing. I'm just poking the bear. I'm just poking the bear.
Well, Caleb, he's helped bring it on himself, so
I'm not
nobody
saying
to blame
he
but
hasn't.
him.
But we've gone through never mind. I'm not.
No, we're not doing. I'm just poking the bear, Caleb. I love you, buddy.
The point is that after Mendoza, who are you looking at to draft as a quarterback?
I think Dante Moore is coming out because of that reason. He's getting drafted in the top 10. Even
he's
with
not
that
coming out. I'm telling you, nobody wants to play for the Jets. I fully believe that. Nobody, at least not the quarterbacks, want to be a Jet. It is career suicide. Why would you come out when they have the second pick, when you could go back to school, earn your $5 million, which is more you're going to make as a rookie, and then re-enter the draft next year and probably still be a top 10 pick?
Hey, pick this guy. Pick this guy.
Go.
Because you already know this, but I learned something yesterday, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I wish more people had the balls to do it. So I started watching part of the Elway documentary, and I was not aware that the Baltimore Colts were drafting him, and that he was like, "No, F you." I never knew that story. It's a whole thing. We don't need to get into it, but anyway, never knew that. Thought that was absolutely wild. And one of the things that I was thinking about is why don't more players do that in today?
Because the team can still draft you, and if they do, they then control your rights forever.
No, not true. You have to sit out the entire year and re-enter the draft the next year.
Okay.
That's what Bo Jackson did. Bo Jackson got drafted number 1 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I know that. He didn't sit out just a year, though. His was 2, wasn't it?
No, he sat out a year, and then he got drafted in the supplemental draft. Look it up. But Robert, look it up. Look it up.
I will right now.
While you do that, I will educate Robert.
Yeah, please. Woo!
Robert, the reason why more quarterbacks, mainly quarterbacks.
I'm just players. Just players is what I'm asking.
Well, most players don't have anything to fall back on to
like he did.
Like rely on. He had baseball. He was legit. Like
he was going to the Yankees.
He was in the minor leagues with the Yankees. Like, he had an option. And Eli Manning did the same thing. He didn't quite have baseball as an option, but he was dead set on, I will not play for the Chargers.
Which, fun fact, did you know that Todd Helton was backup for him in college?
Peyton Manning, not Eli.
Or Peyton, you're right.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah.
That was crazy. I always loved
Peyton Manning started playing because Todd Helton got hurt. Now, if you want to get down the rabbit hole a little bit further, I would recommend there's a 30 for 30 documentary on Elway to Marino, and it talks a lot more about the behind the scenes on Elway getting drafted, and that's really, really good.
Okay. All right. Added.
Solid, Pinky. Just sit out a year. So, yeah, I honestly don't know why more people don't do it.
Cool. That was why I just thought it was curious because I got educated and I had questions for the experts.
Caleb, in today's age where guys are getting paid, you don't have to worry about that. You just go back to school and keep making your money.
Man, even back then,
you just didn't have a lot of options, man.
Man, I'd work out and go work at a grocery store instead of playing for some of these teams because you knew they were going to ruin your career. Like straight up fact. You knew if you went there, and damn.
Anyway, sorry, got us off track. We need to get back.
All right, divisional round.
I was going to say, you got a last moment thought about that?
Divisional round. The rabbit hole is way big. Get me out of it quickly, or we're going to keep going down.
So,
go ahead,
I was going to say, I think when was the last time that you all could recall that there was the 3 teams from one specific division in the playoffs at one time with actual like real chances?
Happened a handful of times. I can't remember the last time all 3 then made it to the divisional round.
That was my question. Is the divisional round? When was the last time that 3 of the same from the same conference, whatever?
I realized that this morning. I was watching Good Morning Football, drinking my coffee, chatting with the wife, and I was like,
"Wait a minute,
hold up, wait." All 3 NFC West teams are in the divisional round.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I feel like it had to have happened before, or people would be talking about it more. You know what I mean?
I mean, a lot of people are talking about it right now.
4 times in league history: 2025, 2022, Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, 97, Vikings, Buccaneers, Packers when it was the old Central Division.
So I was a year old. Cool.
Hold on.
And 92, Cowboys, Eagles, Washington.
They all made the divisional round, or they all made the playoff?
All made the divisional round.
Wow.
That was
4 times.
Cool.
So I've gotten to experience 1. Well, now 2 in my lifetime because I was 1 when it happened the first time.
All right. Well, we've got man.
I'm sorry.
Can the Bears keep doing this? Can they keep kind of playing like crap for 3 quarters and then just pulling a rabbit out their ass and
we've been asking the same question about the Broncos.
Fair.
I mean, if we're gonna call it, I want to call it because the Broncos have been doing the same, and we've been saying the same exact thing about them, but the Bears are doing the same thing. And
the difference, Robert, is perception or not. The Broncos are considered to have a good defense that is stout and can hold up, where the Bears have a defense that is built on turnovers.
Okay.
And that's, I think, where people are making the distinction. And for lack of a better way of saying it, looking at the Bears is more fool's gold because they have to rely on something that is not guaranteed, where people think the Broncos defense can kind of bend but not break. Understood. Not saying it's correct, but I think that's where that distinction is coming from.
Okay. Cool. I appreciate it.
What do you think is going to happen in this game, Robert? Bears and Rams in Chicago.
To be quite honest, I think the Bears get humbled a little bit. I think that they definitely have a small little wake up call from the Rams. And with Matthew Stafford just kind of being the man that he is. I don't think that they are quite to that caliber to play against a team that has been a constant in not only the playoffs, the divisional, but also the Super Bowl. I really, as much as I want to see Ben Johnson succeed, I definitely think that this is the moment where they are, okay, we're brought back down to earth here a little bit. I don't think it's going to be an absolute blowout. I think it'll be a game. But I do think that the Rams will control the game.
Okay. Caleb?
I'm thinking this is around like a 31-20 game Rams. Rams just don't really turn the ball over. And that secondary in Chicago is going to have a lot of work to do to keep up with what's coming their way. If they were playing a quarterback that was prone to make some mistakes, I could actually see myself picking the Bears in this game because it's at home. And that's not Matthew Stafford. And he played in the NFC North for years. So going and playing outside in cold weather isn't going to be an issue for him. You're talking about arguably the league MVP, who many believe if he goes on a run this year and wins a Super Bowl, enters his name into the top 10 all time and could be considered one of the best to ever play the game. So there's not just your regular things that they're playing for. There's some legacy stuff that they're also playing for with him and McVay. Puka shows up in the playoffs and he starts entering his name into I am the best receiver in the game. Like, the Rams have a little bit of pump your chest stuff to play for on top of everything else. Whereas I feel like Chicago is kind of like, we're the underdog. People didn't believe in us, and they're still trying to ride that wave. And when you go up against a team who's playing for legacy rather than just to get by or just for that year kind of thing, they understand the moments just a little bit more. Things slow down just a little bit more when it's supposed to get fast. I just think that experience and that factor plays a big role in this game. And because Chicago relies on turnovers and LA doesn't really turn the ball over like that, I think that's what separates the teams.
Okay. Good analysis. All right.
The Bears cannot cover the number one wide receiver in the league. They just can't do it. Puka is the best wide receiver in the league. Best hands, best routes.
Really? I don't think he would.
I think he is. He shows up more than anybody else.
JSN showed up pretty constant for the Seahawks this year, too.
He did, absolutely. I still would take Puka over anybody right now.
Jamar Chase.
I take Puka over Chase.
There's a lot of good wide receivers in the league right now.
Nico Collins until last night.
I do not think there's a clear separation between the top dudes right now. I think situation plays a lot into that. You throw any of those dudes that I just mentioned into Puka's situation, and they all...
Yeah, but you know what Puka has more than anybody else? The best hands in the league. So.
I don't agree with that.
Oh, you'd be wrong.
He's had Jamar Chase has made just as many catches that Puka has in similar fashion. There's quite a few guys. George Pickens has made just as many spectacular catches as Puka has. So to flat out just say he's the best hands in the league, I think that is a wild statement.
It's not wild.
To say you're just wrong if you don't agree with that.
You don't have to agree with it. It's just a fact.
It's absolutely not a fact. Absolutely not a fact. There's a dude on his team who might have better hands than him.
Not this year. Devontae Adams does not have better hands than him this year. He's dropped a lot of balls. He dropped 2 in the game the other day.
Broncos Bills. What are we thinking?
We're not talking Broncos Bills. We're talking Seahawks 49ers.
Oh, no.
I'm doing NFC first.
We're
doing NFC first.
I moved on.
NFC
Pinky's
first.
throwing out crazy statements. I moved on.
Okay, anyway. Seahawks 49ers. Are we going to get another great game like we did the other week? I really hope so.
They didn't have a good game the other week. That game was awful. No. It was like 13-6. It was awful.
Oh, no, you're right. No,
Seattle kind of controlled that game. I see very much similar fashion, but I see the Seahawks scoring more.
Yeah,
I just feel like they kind of got their number this year, and that's Look, I thought San Francisco was going to lose to Seattle. I mean, to Philadelphia. So this isn't me trying to like down the Niners, and really, maybe me picking against them is exactly what I need to do for them to keep winning. And them losing and not getting home field advantage all the way to the Super Bowl is exactly what they needed to do so that they can keep winning and go to the Super Bowl. I've already said that offense might be the best offense in the league. The way they've been playing, with how consistent they are, Purdy giving the ball to anybody and everybody when he's supposed to, McCaffrey looking like one of the best, if not the best running back in the league. I'm not worried about them scoring. I'm worried about that defense, that sieve of a defense. And if A.J. Brown catches one of those two balls, San Francisco may not walk out with a victory. I don't think Seattle has the same problems.
I think is Trent Williams playing? I think that's a big thing. If he plays, they've got a good shot, but at some point the injuries are going to catch up. You know,
with Kittle out now, it'll definitely catch up.
Tonj is playing really good ball. I don't think that's a big factor.
I mean, he's not Kittle though.
No, but I don't think that's a loss.
They don't have a wasteland at tight end. They've got some guys that are good, but they're not Kittle. In fact, Juszczyk has picked up some of that Kittle slack.
Yep, he sure has.
I just think the Seattle defense has the 49ers number, and that's a big deal. But it is a division game. Weird shit happens in division games. But I got to go with Seahawks. I got to go with the home team. Oh, I don't know. Feels like a 2017 game, something like that.
I can see that. The Seahawks are going to run the ball. And I am fully confident in Sam Darnold not making a mistake that's going to cost him. I'm fully confident in a great game manager type of performance from him. For those of you that haven't watched this, are you going to take that and hot clip it? Just know that what we consider a game manager is very different than what the common nomenclature is out there in the talking heads world. So you want to be a game manager in today's NFL, and we say you're a good game manager, that is high praise from us. We will take that all day, every day.
I mean, a good game manager wins you football games. I'll take that any day, especially after our 9 years of awful quarterback play.
We like point guards around here, ladies and gentlemen.
So is it Seahawks ran the table? It sounds like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Patriots and the Houston Texans.
Always does this. That's the Sunday game, but he's going to skip right to it.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. No. We did the Bears and the Rams first. They play Sunday. The Seahawks and the 49ers play Saturday night. We will do the Patriots and the Texans because that's how we did it for the other division.
You guys are silly. I mean, the Patriots should win this game pretty easily based on what I just watched from this last weekend.
Absolutely.
I've said this all year. I think the Houston defense is very gettable. I don't think it's as vaunted as everybody keeps claiming it to be. I saw a lot of opportunities that LA left on the field. And that Patriots offense is not going to leave those same opportunities out there. And that Houston offense, I do not know how they got this team to the amount of wins they did this season. Truly do not understand.
I do. They played a pretty poor schedule.
They're not a good offense.
They're not a good offense, but they have a really the Texans defense is tough when it needs to be, and it does generate turnovers, and that's the equalizer,
you can run
right?
On that defense all day if you really.
I think you can. I've seen it, but it's can you make the plays on third down?
Patriots at home 27-10, 27-13, and it's not going to feel close.
I can't even argue with that. I can't even argue with it. I got the Patriots too. I think the Patriots are still right at the moment. They're the best team in the NFL at the moment, the way that they're playing.
I'm not going to agree with that, but okay.
Offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. I think they're the best team right now.
I think they looked insanely beatable against the Chargers, and they just went up against a team that was missing half of their starters.
I mean, you could say the Chargers' defense is still pretty good. Mike Minter probably going to get some interviews.
Oh, for sure. That defense is still solid.
Jesse Minter. I think it is
Jesse Minter, yeah.
Robert?
I mean, Patriots, definitely.
Okay. Well, that was easy. Yeah, now we can talk about the game of the weekend.
The game of the weekend. That's good. That's good. Go ahead. Give us your rundown.
You want my take?
Yeah. What are you thinking here? I want to know what you're feeling first.
Well, for one, I hate this. I actually did not like this matchup at all for the Broncos.
Really?
I've been on record.
I've been on record. Superman.
I've been on record since earlier in the season that I believe Buffalo's power run game is a bad matchup for the Broncos. Like, it's a bad matchup. Now, playing Buffalo's wide receivers and all that, can our secondary kind of shut them down? I think so. But when it's 3rd and 2 and you just have to have, Shakir run a quick, 3-yard route, they can do that pretty easily. Or, Josh Allen just becomes Superman and runs the ball for 2 yards. It's a tough thing to stop when the run game is running well. And that's one of the big factors of last year's game in the playoffs, because this is a rematch. Buffalo ran the ball on us. James Cook had a great game. And, there's a couple other things about that game that's a little off if you remember it. But the main thing was their power run game is not a good matchup for our defense at all. And that's why I feel like, unfortunately, I do feel like Buffalo is going to come in and win this game.
Robert?
Just like we talked about with the Bears earlier, the Broncos really can't play good 3 quarters of football until the 4th quarter, and the Bills can play constant 4 quarters. And I really just think that Josh Allen. What do you mean, no, Pinky?
A majority of the season, Buffalo's played a very similar style, kind of hang around for 3 quarters, and then they rely on turnovers or Josh Allen.
I would agree with Robert, though. They played a more consistent brand of football for whole game for the course of the season than the Broncos did.
Woo!
Overall, I would agree with that.
So that's I really do see that kind of being the Achilles heel for the Broncos this weekend, and why the Bills will win, because they will be on. They're just going to be on the gas, I think, and the Broncos will not be ready for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did not see this coming. Okay. The homer today is going to be me. Surprisingly.
Dang!
And I very much do think this is a coin flip game. And the reason I was slightly leaning towards Buffalo originally was the run game on both sides. Like Pinky said, Buffalo could run the ball down Denver's throat, and that's an issue. And then if you start leaving them in a lot of 3rd and shorts with Josh Allen as your quarterback, that's a recipe for disaster. I'm also insanely nervous, and this is nothing new for me, but the Denver Broncos offensive play calling and lack of a consistent run game, which is Buffalo's weakest point on their defense, I'm nervous the Broncos are not going to be able to take advantage of that the way they need to allow them Bo Nix to do his magic in the 4th quarter. But based on what I saw last week, and the fact that I do think that loss to Jacksonville came at the perfect time for the Broncos and kind of gave them a playbook for what they need to immediately correct to make a run in the playoffs happen at the right time. They then got to take that script and apply it towards what Buffalo was doing to Jacksonville last week and kind of see how that works. And I think it gives them just enough ammo. I'm talking like 50.1% to 49.9%. Just enough ammo for the Broncos to get over the edge because they will be at home.
Now,
if this was in Buffalo, I would be picking Buffalo.
The silver lining that I have, A, it's in Denver. B, the Bills are banged up. They came out of that game with some injuries. Their wide receiver core is banged up. Josh Allen is banged up. And all the pressure's on Buffalo. All the pressure. And people have talked about it. A lot of sportscasters will tell you. There's more pressure on Buffalo than any other team right now. Buffalo's been in the playoffs. This is their 8th straight year. Their kryptonite, Mahomes and the Chiefs, are not here. The other good team that they've played is Lamar and the Ravens. They're not here. And some people keep throwing in Joe Burrow and the Bengals, but they've only really been in it like 2 years. So I don't know if that's as much of a conversation. But what you could say is the top quarterbacks in the league on the AFC side are not in the playoffs right now.
This is why I will disagree with that sentiment. Because Buffalo's done this for 8 years. So while the outside world may think the pressure is on Buffalo, I don't think Buffalo is thinking that same way. I think they want to get it done, but I think they're very much aware of what the moment is and they can handle that pressure.
Has there been any more urgency to get it done, though?
What?
Is there any more urgency for Josh Allen to get this done and get his ass to a Super Bowl?
I don't think there's any more urgency this year than there was the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh, I do.
I don't. I really don't. I think there's more pressure on the Broncos being a young team as the number 1 seed and the pressure that comes with home field advantage and having to handle that.
Peyton Manning taking 7 years to get his ass to a Super Bowl. Same pressure every year. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't beat Brady.
Yeah, the pressure never changes. It's always that pressure. It doesn't get more.
That's pressure's
what
not.
I don't understand. Like, if you ever played sports, you understand that once you didn't win, that pressure is that pressure always until you win. It can't get any more. It is always the worst. It is always at the highest level because you didn't win. So I just don't see that. Is there more urgency for Buffalo than Denver? Yeah, because their clock is ticking. I don't think there's more pressure. Maybe that's where I see the difference. But that, I think, could be the detriment for Denver is that pressure. And that's why I don't see this being – Denver should win this game based on injuries, their defense. Like, this shouldn't necessarily be that close of a game. So, I don't know. But, like, this is why we love it, though, right? You're seeing this completely different than I am. And we're talking about the exact same thing.
A lot of teams, when they're under this kind of urgency and this type of pressure, can fold under the pressure. And to me, Denver is playing on house money. Nobody except for me and Robert picked them to have this good of a season. So,
which, funny enough, we're like, yeah, we're gonna pick them to have a great season, but they're gonna lose here.
I think this is a bad matchup for Denver. If Josh Allen can play Superman for one more game, then
Josh Allen can play Superman and go win the Super Bowl. Well, that is not out of the realm of possibility.
If he gets banged up like he did in that last game, I don't know if he'll make it out of this one.
I do, though. So you boys got Buffalo winning. I got Denver by the hair on their chinny chin chin.
I'll take it. An AFC Championship game in Denver, I'll take it.
Go figure. That's the only game we don't agree on.
Right? Yeah. It's the only one. And I'm wearing all my Denver gear. I still love my boys. I hope they win. I'll be excited and cheering my head off. But
hey, I think if anybody was questioning our abilities to be objective, I think that shows that we're willing to at least look at other perspectives. So
even though their co-hosts call him out at the beginning of the season, giving us a homer take, but it's fine.
It's okay.
But
we showed him up, though.
We did show him up. We need to put that on a frame, and that needs to be in Caleb's background because he needs some freaking personality.
I know, if Denver was playing any other team in the AFC this weekend, I would pick Denver. I do like Denver against every other team. Buffalo's the one team in the playoffs that I do not like.
Camera? Look at that.
Hey, yeah.
14-3. 14-3.
Not just
actually,
that,
you know what?
Hey, can I pick the losses and the wins almost identical too? It's pretty good.
And I'm curious, Caleb, because you do have that out with the 8 teams that are here. What are their records for what we predicted, and what are they actually?
That is interesting. Let's look. So Philly, we had at 15-2.
That didn't happen.
No, I'm talking divisional. Who's left? What was their record?
Oh, my bad. Divisional. Yeah. San Francisco. LA 11-6, San Francisco 11-6, Seattle 11-6. We had Chicago at 8-9.
They overperformed. Okay.
Buffalo 13-4, Denver 14-3, Houston 10-7, and New England was at 9-8.
And they overperformed this year as well. So, all right,
cool. I was just curious. I wanted to know.
Divisional round normally brings us some really good games, so we should have some great football this weekend. And then on Monday, we get to close out the week with the college football championship game. Let's talk about it.
Indy.
Indy has gone so nuclear dominant that people have now skipped all the way to their cheating on a high-end dark web level of counterintelligence. It is mind-blowing. They started with, well, yeah, everybody's too old, and that's why they're winning. Because they couldn't use the stars or the recruits or anything like that. So then it was everybody's 23 or 24, and that's why they're winning. That statement didn't stick very well because they started realizing there's a lot of kids like that on everybody's team. And then they had to move all the way to supreme cheating. And not just like sign-stealing cheating. Like, we are paying high-level hackers to video surveillance your practices and your plays and steal your playbooks off of your digital assets. And, like, it's absurd. That's how dominant Indy is right now, that people are believing that they're into a scandal.
It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. But I think that's one thing that folks always have. Like, let's be honest. It's because it's Indiana.
Yeah.
If it was any other team, this wouldn't really be a thing. But it's Indiana, and people are like, I don't understand. They've got, 5 4-star recruits on their whole team, and they've got like barely anybody that we recognize from a national standpoint, and they've got a coach that we're like, who's this guy? And like nothing matches up. I understand it. Like, you're trying to grasp at straws of like, how are these guys good? How are these guys this good? And so they've got to come up with narratives that make it to where they're this good because they're cheating. So
Binky, let's just lay it on the table now. Do your Canes have a chance?
So they have a 10% chance. And it relies on one thing. And one thing only. Will they stay as dedicated to the run as they did against Ole Miss? Because they have their O-line has about their O-line has a 50-pound difference on Indiana's D-line.
Yeah.
Caleb, you're like, I want to know, but it doesn't matter. That's so toxic. That's so evil. You ask the man and you're like, doesn't matter. I didn't care anyway.
I was gonna
shut me down like the Rock. It's like
I was gonna pull a rock on him, and I decided to dial it back just a little bit.
No, that's what you should have done. It doesn't matter what you think.
It don't matter.
I really wanted to, but then I decided I was gonna let him talk it out. But no, I don't think it matters at all. I think Indiana's gonna boat race them. They're on a mission to prove to people that you should have recognized this a long time ago. Like back when we were talking about it in October, you should have been talking about it as well. And you didn't. And you kept making excuses and you kept giving reasons and you kept saying why they can't instead of why they can. And I'm looking at this ending in like a 45-10. I am seriously looking at, and here's the thing, guys. This has nothing to do with talent, okay? This is simply the fact that Indiana does not make mistakes. They have a game plan. They execute it flawlessly, and teams might think they're with them, or they might have them for maybe a quarter and a half. And then all of a sudden something happens and everything unravels. And it happens every single time. And it's about to happen to Miami. And I fully believe Carson Beck is going to Carson Beck this game. As Pinky likes to say, he's going to go back to the pumpkin that we believe him to be. And I don't see any way Miami keeps this close come second half. This game, I fully expect to end up like the 96 Nebraska championship against Florida.
Wow.
That's what I expect this game to look like.
Well, for the uneducated who weren't born in 96 until July, can you?
Yeah, it was like a 64-24 blowout.
I mean,
how many tackles can one man break?
There's the Georgia TCU game from a couple years ago.
Yeah, but everybody expected that. That's what everybody was predicting. That Nebraska game is now considered, that team, one of the best, if not the best college football team to ever play. But going into that championship game, majority had Florida winning. And I think that's what this reminds me of, because I think there's still a lot of people who don't want to pick Indiana just because it's Indiana. And that's what people were doing in Nebraska. If you weren't Nebraska, you hated them. And you picked against them. That's just the way it was. That feels like what people are doing with Indiana. Miami's established. Miami's part of the blue blood, or they're right on the verge of that. They are college football. They should have no issues with this. They have the recruits. They have the history. They have the dudes on the sideline coming back to support the team. Indiana has nothing. And they're going to go into Miami's home stadium, and it's going to be only red in that stadium by the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then Miami is going to then end the evening with people talking about what I told you very well needs to be started to pay attention last week, and then proceeded to write a little article about it. But Indiana will then put themselves in the conversation of one of the 5 best teams to ever play this game.
Which I actually did. My new boss is a huge college football fan. And I actually sent him your post, and he loved it and agreed with it. So kudos to you, my friend. Now, I just want to say, can you at least give my Canes some flowers for being somewhere that you thought they had no chance of being? No? Not at all?
Damn, he said silence. Crickets.
I'm not.
They were the underdog in every single game they played, and here we are.
I'm not going to do that because I had them beating Texas A&M. So, no, I'm not giving them any flowers. I already did such the first round. I admitted that I was wrong in the second round, and we're moving forward.
Lame.
Hey,
Damn.
I already did. I already gave them the flowers they deserved.
Nothing but a hater.
That's not hate. That's speaking factual. You literally cannot give my dudes flowers when they do anything okay.
They haven't.
So let's not go down the flower road, okay?
They haven't. They haven't done anything good in years.
Mom,
let's not.
Is that you? I'm
Let's
coming.
not do that. Let's not do that. Don't do that.
Did you need me to take out the trash?
Cornhuskers are in a tough situation, and
Dude, yeah, let's not. We don't.
We can make this real depressing real quick. All right, moving on to the next topic that I know you're excited about, and I'm excited about it as well.
Indiana University, by the way. Keep that in mind. It's IU, baby, not UI.
Oh, man. Are we going to have time for nonsense?
He's going to have to make this quick.
Okay.
This is just a little rant. Hey, NBA. Put the crack pipe down.
Wow.
Before you make a trade.
Oh.
How in the world did Rudy Gobert go for the number of first-round draft picks he did? How in the world did Mikal Bridges go for the number of first-round draft picks he did? How in the world then you do turn around and you only get 1 first for Trae Young or 1 first for Luka Doncic? Now, I know AD came with it, and that's a little bit of blah, blah.
And the conspiracy that Mavericks got the #1 pick because of it, because they were willing to make that trade.
We got to establish some baselines, okay? Go talk to the NFL because they figured out a point system for how much each pick is valued. Pretty smart idea. It helped a lot of people not make as terrible choices. There's still a lot of people making dumb choices, but they're not as dumb, okay? You need to figure something out because the all over the placeness and lack of accountability for what value truly is mind-boggling at this point in time. And nobody can come up with any idea of what an actual legit NBA trade should be because there is nothing to use as a baseline. Nothing.
I don't even know if teams know how to really scout and find what a good NBA prospect looks like.
Well, we don't need to go down the rabbit hole there, Pinky, because that's a whole other subject and topic, and that then brings in the one and done and high schoolers and owners and protections, and I didn't want to go down the full rabbit hole. I just wanted to give a quick little rant on the fact that the NBA has no idea what the value of a pick actually is, and they need to get their shit together. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
FYI, Denver Nuggets won another game without Joker.
I was just about to bring that up, but they almost lost to the Pelicans, so is it really?
I mean, the Pelicans can play decent basketball from time to time.
They're 9-32.
But they've put up valiant efforts.
Okay.
I don't know. Was this in Denver?
No.
It was in New Orleans. Yeah, I mean, they were at home too, so yeah.
As for the graphic Pinky threw up here, I think he's just trying to do me a favor and get a quick graphic for trades and people that might be on the potential trade market because I didn't really tell him what I was going to rant about. So
Michael Porter,
good sir.
Michael Porter Jr. is on the trade block. I think teams will actually be looking to come get him. He's had a great season for Brooklyn.
He has, but this is what blows my mind. They've seen what he's capable of when he's not the first option. So if you're not going to make him the first option, you better be very careful what you're trading for. And I love MPJ, and I was sad to see him go from Denver.
When there's nobody else around you
back, and everybody's like, I hear all these people talking about now, Denver lost that trade. No, they didn't. That trade, yes, if it was in a bubble and that was the only deal made, then yes, they lost that deal. But that wasn't. That deal was made so they could open up a bunch of cap space and allow them to fill out the bench and get a legit center backup for Jokic finally. That trade was won by Denver. Now, if you want to say it was a win-win, I'm good with that too.
I think it helped both teams, for sure.
So, but you go and trade for MPJ and you're not going to make him your number one option, or he's not going to be the 1A, then you should be very cautious what you're giving up for that. Now, if I'm Brooklyn, I don't know why you'd move him. His deal's about to get team friendly based on the way the cap's going forward. You're going to be able to re-sign him. He could be a center point moving forward. He's still young enough to do that, and you could build. And he's shown you could build around him. I don't know why they would move him. The Pelicans, Zion, boy, you make him an Aaron Gordon type, and you put him on the team as a legit second or third option, more so the third option, and you give him an Aaron Gordon role, watch Zion take off to the moon. But as the one, they definitely don't have the right pieces around him to do it. Him and Derek Queen are very interesting together, though, and I was really high on Derek Queen coming out. So that could be interesting to keep them together and then build around them. But moving Zion, if you're a team...
If you can get good value for Zion, I think based on injury and everything else, I think you kind of just cut. I just think you cut.
Very interesting there. And then, look, Giannis said he's not going anywhere. So the Bucks are going to have to pull that ripcord, and the likelihood of them doing it is probably slim to none. So you better get really creative and hope you can reset 2 years from now is basically when you're going to have the ability to do it again, and hope Giannis still has enough left in the tank to make one more run. And that's a crazy outlook. That's how bad they messed up when they started making the moves. And that Dame, what did I say about that Dame trade, Pinky?
Awful.
So,
or as Charles Barkley would say, terrible
trade. And then, another one to look at, and I won't go down the rabbit hole on this so we can move forward into our nonsense, but people need to start looking at Kevin Durant, and there needs to be more of a conversation about him and how great he really is, because Phoenix is playing better without him.
Let's give Robert a moment. Robert, you were very giddy today about a certain subject. Tell the people about why you were so giddy today.
About the liveries?
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah. So, we got our first official look at the test wrap for Cadillac, because they are now putting out their first run to see how the car will perform. And my God, does it look beautiful. It's
pretty
so
sweet
gorgeous.
little, yeah.
And
keep talking poetic. I'll look for a graphic.
It's not very often in a sport where you get to witness something like this. When you get to add a team to an already prestigious sport. To get another U.S. team with two prestigious drivers, Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, Checo, that is not it.
That's not it? Okay.
Grab it from our messages. I sent it earlier.
That's a pain in the ass. Okay.
Well, I'm
keep talking. Just type
in Cadillac test livery.
I did, and that's what came up.
And so
Spain. It's in Spain, right?
Yes. Here I can.
Cadillac Spain test livery. Livery.
I mean, I say livery, but I could be wrong.
It's a dumb word, but whatever.
I agree.
So I'm excited to see what happens. This is a brand new car. Caleb now has a team he cares about. He got 2 drivers he gets to support. And again, it adds another variable to the grid, which is already chaotic. The first race is March 7th, and we are now every week pretty much going forward getting test runs of every team and getting our first look at the cars. Caleb, have you gotten to hear any of the new vehicles yet and what they sound like?
Not that one.
What are your opinions? Because I think they sound awesome.
I'm on the fence.
They're unique, but
I'm on
they
the fence
sound
a little bit.
so cool.
How about that?
I am very much.
Not from our messages I put here. It's at the very front.
I don't know how you're not finding this. I typed it in Google, and it's like one of the first images I find.
It's not any of the images. I'm sorry.
I got it. It's in our messages. I literally put
Anyways,
for you.
Anyway, I am very much a natural aspirated type of sound guy. And this has a almost spaceshipy.
I know, that's so
kind of
cool.
Whoosh, kind of. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to hear some real laps, like really let it wind up, roll off, and kind of see how the sound echoes out around the track after a couple, and then decide. But right now, I would say if you put me on the spot, I'm gonna say I'm not a fan.
Ooh.
So I'm torn a little bit. We'll see.
That's bold. It's bold.
We'll see.
I'm liking the spaceship sound. The new designs of the car I really like. And again, the schedule, I think going forward here, we should have the Red Bull announced this weekend, the 19th, I think, on Monday is when it should be here. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. Thank you, Pinky. I appreciate you. A very unique design from Cadillac. So
yeah, all those little lines are words, by the way. That's all lettering. That's
all lettering.
It's like a book written onto that. It's pretty sweet.
And so, yes, here today is the 13th. So on Thursday, we will have the Racing Bulls and Red Bull reveal their their car launches, along with some test liveries like we have from Cadillac. I'm getting excited. I didn't get to participate in this last year with just kind of coming into the sport on the first race, but I'm here for it. Getting to see already what Cadillac is doing. Not only were they running simulations on the grid for the last races, we're finally getting looks at the cars. The drivers are starting to do their interviews. The whole Hot Ones episode with him and with Bottas and Checo, that was hilarious. Caleb, if you haven't gotten to watch that, do yourself a favor. It's hilarious. But we're getting ramped up for another great season here, March 7th. So it's coming around quick. I have a feeling that F1 is going to become a big staple in our conversations like the NFL is. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped. So excited. I still need to build my last few Lego Speed Champions cars so I can complete my collection, but we're getting close, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on pins and needles already. Now, for the best part that everybody's been waiting for, and I hope you two did your homework this week because nobody brought it up in the chat. I'm looking at Pinky specifically.
This guy did.
That Fallout episode, though, and that Deathclaw.
Yeah, I brought it up in the chat, and you guys ignored me.
Oh, did it? I missed it. I'm sorry. I've had some things going on, all right? I'm studying. My mind's been all over the place. I haven't gotten to be as active as I want to be. But that Deathclaw and Maximus is in some position. He's kind of screwed.
Is he, though?
I think so.
I think this is the point in the season where they move Maximus away from the Brotherhood and get him more involved in some of the other characters of the show. Get him back to
Brotherhood's about to annihilate themselves.
Yeah, Civil War.
Yeah, he just walked away from them, just completely destroying themselves. So that's a good plus for him. I think he's got an idea what that world is really like now, and his buddy, who's now a ghoul, has an even better idea because he was out there even longer. It's going to be interesting to see how they decide how they're going to go find her now, because that's what's going to happen. But how does that play out, and what does that lead to, is what I'm interested to see on their little journey, and how they're able to complete that or even start it really. And I actually have a theory that, based on, I'm guessing here, I don't really know the lay of the land, like I didn't play the games or anything, but I'm kind of guessing here that kind of where his base was with the Brotherhood and where her brother and his little crew that he's leading have ended up are somewhat in an area where they'll end up meeting up. And that becomes kind of a partnership that moves forward. That's how I'm seeing Maximus play out right now.
Fair enough.
His immediate next steps, at least.
I just love how well they are doing this. It really has not only tapped into a lot of the game world, but it's also going for a lot of world building on its own, because you got to see a totally different part of the US because we went to Alaska and then we encountered China. So, and now Lucy's a drug addict, and that's going to lead to some interesting things too.
Is the entire world gone to hell or just America?
No, the entire world is shit. It is done.
So Vault-Tec launched everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I've been continuously wondering that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of it. And if you were to go look, Caleb, like basically Europe itself, famine, decimated. They killed each other.
Yeah, I'm trying not to go do a lot of you know me, I like to do a lot of research and I like to know too much backstory. I'm really trying not to do that with this because I'm enjoying just learning as it's getting told to me. And I know if I go do a bunch of research, I'm going to find out things from the game that may not ever happen with the show. And I'm kind of, since I never played it, I don't really want to mix the two now. So I'm on the fence there a little bit.
That's fair. I can appreciate that. And it's just going to get crazier from here.
All right. So now I want to know, what do you guys? Well, Robert might already know because he played the game, but if you don't, then I want theories. What's the man monster that he's now encountered twice? Alaska and now Vegas.
That's what I just meant. It's called a death claw.
Oh, that's what that thing is.
That's what that is.
Like that's
it's
a real thing.
Yeah, you fight.
So
that
there's
in the
multiple
game.
of those, like in the game.
They will ruin your day. I
so
hate
it's just
them.
a monster.
Yes, it sucks.
I was hoping it was something like right hand man to the dude who caused all this, and it was an experiment gone bad. And like it's his brother or something that has to be kept around, and everybody's. So it's just some other monster.
Yeah.
Vault Tech created it though, I'm guessing, and it was an experiment gone bad.
If I remember right, I think it's a result of some of the nuclear things that happened.
It's before that.
Yeah, because it was in Alaska.
Yeah, it's before the nuclear fallout. So
let me double check. It's been a minute.
Like I thought it was a Vault Tech experiment gone bad that got out somehow up there, and he's now seeing it again.
No, yeah. So they're basically engineered by the government. It wasn't by Vault Tech, but yes.
They were before the nuclear fallout.
Yep.
So good.
So it's just a scary monster. So it's not really as important to the story
day.
as I may have thought originally.
No, they'll just ruin your day.
So right now, basically, they're just going to kill it, and it's just kind of in their way to get inside to go see her dad.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy. Man, I need to.
Well, a little disappointing and lame then with that, to be honest with you.
Well,
I was thinking there was a lot bigger connection that was going to happen because he saw it in Alaska during the war before everything went to shit. And now he's seeing it again. And now you're just telling me it's just a stupid engineered monster from the government.
Sorry to burst your bubble there, buddy.
That's seriously how I feel. I'm so disappointed right now.
Sorry.
It's cool. It's cool. Everything else is brilliant. I'm loving her. She's so high that all of a sudden the killing of something was such a visceral release for her and everything she was going through that it allowed her to actually enjoy the moment even though she knows it's wrong. So I'm with you guys. Like her drug problem is going to make for some very interesting situations moving forward.
Yes,
right?
It is. Yes, it is.
Because it's either you stay on the drugs or you suffer for 5 to 7 days. So
what becomes of her brother?
Oh, he's going to become a maniacal overlord like his dad.
You think so?
Of course.
He knows so. He played the games.
That doesn't matter.
Is that what happens in the game?
I can't say.
I mean, you're not spoiling anything.
Nope, but I can't say.
If it's in the game, you're not spoiling anything.
I know I won't say. I won't.
Interesting.
There's still a lot developing.
Well, I feel like he's going to have to make some really tough choices that he's not going to want to. That are going to be really bad to keep his ass safe and basically sacrifice his little minions that are going to learn out he's not what he said he was. So that's going to put him in a really precarious situation. It's going to cause him to make some bad choices. And I think Maximus is going to be a part of that storyline, but not necessarily go down the same path. And that's what I'm interested to see there with those. That's why I think they're going to come together. And I want to see how that plays out before they find Lucy again. But I'm still like, the very top of the list is still like, what the fuck happened to the ghoul when shit hit the fan? And how did he become the ghoul? And where the fuck is his family? Like, you could ruin every other storyline. And as long as you ace that one, I'm still going to be all about this show.
That's awesome. I love it. That's so good. Well, Pinky, I will say, outside of Fallout, there is the Chris Pratt, Jessica Ferguson movie coming out called Mercy.
That looks interesting.
I forgot that was coming out here in a couple of weeks. I'm possibly willing to go see that. because I need to go to a movie theater. I've got an itch that needs to be scratched. I haven't been, so need to go.
I have not been in a while as well. I think I went and saw. What did I go and see?
I went and saw Avatar. So you went and saw Anaconda.
I went and saw Anaconda. That was fun.
Yeah, Anaconda was. I've not gone to see Anaconda yet.
If you like stupid comedies, it's funny.
I love stupid comedy. That's not one that I'm like, I need to.
Right.
I need to be there for.
Right. I mean, I don't want to see Primate.
No.
I did not see Greenland 1.
I didn't even know there was a Greenland 1 to begin. I was like, Greenland 2. What was the first
I
one?
remember Greenland coming out, and I just never.
I'm glad someone does, because
I remember it coming out. It did well enough that they did a sequel. So, no interest in Primate. It's getting good reviews, but I don't like.
Go watch Gen V and catch up.
Yeah,
that's a
so
tough
we can
one.
talk.
Yes,
that's a tough one.
What do you mean
Caleb,
that's a tough one?
I'll have it done by next week, not next Tuesday, but by the end of next week. I'll get it done.
Tough one is in you don't think it's quality entertainment, so it's hard to get through.
No, I don't think I can give the time to get it done.
He's commuting now. He won't be able. He loses 2 hours a day at least now.
Yeah, I'm losing 2 hours a day. On top of that, with it being football, like playoff football, like football is all weekend right now. I don't have Saturday or Sunday to actually because I got to get stuff done in the morning to watch football in the afternoon, so I don't have that time. So once football season's over, then I have a little bit more time.
I mean, I'm just gonna throw this out there, but it's kind of hard to listen to you two tell me you don't have time to do things.
Whoa! I didn't say I had time. I'm making time.
I'm just saying in general. I'm not throwing you under the bus with this. I'm just saying in general.
And I'm studying.
You two telling this guy that you don't have time to do something that I'm able to find time to squeeze into.
I watch football. I watch wrestling. Those are two priorities. To watch a show that my wife will not watch.
Oh, I forgot about that. I will give you. My wife loves it, so I don't have.
I'm just studying.
I will give you that one. Okay, that's fair. Fair,
I'm
Pinky.
studying my butt
I
off.
forgot, Hannah. Okay, that's fair then. I'll give you that one.
I'm just studying, so no, I will have it watched.
So
by next
good.
Week. I will watch it next week. It will be completed.
Ooh, it's good.
All
Final thoughts.
We're not there yet.
We're not. Did Robert have more?
Robert was going to talk a little Doom.
Yeah.
Are we not doing that?
No, we are.
Okay.
We are.
Pinky, we're early, buddy. We got it.
I didn't know we were talking about Dune, and who cares?
So we got our. I mean, Pinky, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you.
That Dune Legacy show was so bad, nobody gives a damn.
I'm not.
Dune. Doctor
Doomsday.
Doom.
Doomsday.
You said it like Dune, so I thought we were talking about like Dune Prophecy, which they have a second series. I don't even know why.
Has that come out yet?
No, it's filming right now.
That's what I thought.
Okay, tell us about Dr. Doom.
So Doomsday has released their final quote unquote teaser trailer, whatever the hell you want to call it. A waste of my time is what I'm calling it. Because now we have seen that somehow the Wakandans and Fantastic Four are going to be teaming up. We've gotten to see that the Dora Milaje and the Thing are shaking hands. And the Russo brothers have gone so far as to say in a post that what we've been watching for the last 4 weeks are not teasers or trailers. They are clues. They are stories. Pay attention. I'm really at a loss because I can't pay attention to anything that has no business being connected right now. I only care about the X-Men trailer because it seems like they're getting Cyclops right, finally. And we have a comic-accurate suit. Sweet. I really could care less about anything else that's been revealed. I don't care that Captain America is coming back because that really tells me Marvel's very desperate right now and have no better options or better ideas. I don't understand what. There's no hype to build on. There's nothing to be excited from. There's nothing that's pulling any of these characters together in a story right now. And I just don't get it. I just don't.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think they had a plan after Endgame. And I think they had a bunch of different ideas. None of them really worked together, and they just tried to mash them. And then it kind of worked into them being able to go with the Kang storyline that could have played out really well. But then all that shit happened. Disney pulled the plug a little bit too early, probably, and they had to scratch all that and completely switch gears.
Because you know what's funny is we talk about all of these things, and what was one of the very first things that Marvel did? We recasted War Machine to Don Cheadle.
That was all about money, though.
I understand, but this was a legal issue. Why wasn't the same logical principle applied to this?
Well, two things from my understanding. One, Majors had it in his contract that they could not recast the character.
Which that is a dumb move on Kevin Feige's
why
part.
You would agree to that as the studio is beyond me.
And if that is the case, then Marvel absolutely deserves to fail.
Two is when War Machine was replaced, it was so early on in the storytelling of this new world that the MCU was building that it was easy enough to do.
I don't disagree with you, Caleb, but here's this point. It was so early enough in the Kang storyline, the same exact thing could have happened.
They could have, but I think it snowballed on them to where by the time they probably could have done it, it was
absolutely. It bit him in the ass, and that was their own doing.
Because of what I read, and I would have to go back and look at sources, but I do remember reading at one point that Majors had in his contract that they could not recast the character. It was, I think there was a time frame on it, potentially or something, but it was he was smart enough to put that in his contract.
And in this report, I do not have anything to back up. And if it is anywhere remotely true, they are out of their minds. I saw a very brief article where Doomsday might be 3 hours and 45 minutes long.
I'm good with that. I've got no issues with that because you have to basically give your entire build up before you can even tell the story.
Because you have nothing. Connecting any of these stories. We should have gotten a Shang-Chi 2 already. Minimum. There should have been at least 2 Fantastic Four movies, I think.
I think them not building off of everything they did with the Eternals was a giant mistake, regardless of how it did in the theater.
I think
it was still movie. Really quality stuff that they were using for world building that they just completely abandoned. They've made a lot of missteps, and I think, like I said, I don't think Feige had a really solid plan going into phase 2, regardless of what they say. And I'm not a big fan of the Russos, to be honest with you. I don't have any faith in them. I was not, and I know, again, I live on islands. I get it. I didn't think Endgame was that good.
No, I'm with you. I agree with you on that, Caleb. I don't think it holds up. I think Infinity War
was really good.
Endgame does not.
I thought that then, and I think it now. And I thought Endgame wasn't that good then, and I think it wasn't that good now. I'm the guy who said the prequels for Star Wars were great back then, and now everybody's kind of come around to that. I don't think the Spider-Mans are good. I'm still living on an island on that. I at least try to stay consistent, right?
Real quick tangent on that, bringing up Star Wars. Hayden Christensen confirmed today that tear when he's standing in the Jedi Council was all him, and it wasn't direction. And George Lucas is like, I like that. Let's keep it. And I'm like, yeah. Hayden Christensen knows what he's doing. That's my boy.
Everybody realizing he's actually a good actor, and he played the most angsty, perfect version of a young Anakin that you possibly could have, and they were giving him shit for it the whole time. And I kept saying, I think that's what he was supposed to do.
That's my boy. It's my boy. Anyway,
you want to shit on Jar Jar? Fine. Like I can listen to that. I may not agree with it fully, but I can at least listen to it.
Totally.
Everything else about the prequels, though, I'm not having.
Anyway, going back to Avengers in the 3-hour 45-minute storyline, which I am preparing you both. So Caleb, you already have an 11th month notice. Pinky is right to some degree. It is Doomsday because Messiah and Doomsday come out on the same day.
No.
So you best believe that my ass is
Are you serious?
Absolutely,
right
my
now, they're
man.
scheduled to release on the same day?
It is Doomsday, my man.
Dude, what is Marvel thinking?
Uh-huh.
Seriously, yeah. What are they... That seems like a terrible idea by the studio. You're going to lose to Dune. You're going to lose miserably to Dune.
Yeah.
Holy Lord.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, dude, yes.
No.
People are burned out on comic books already.
Because Doomsday has one of the lowest
but you can't take kids to Dune. You can take kids to a Marvel movie, so. That's a true statement.
Not if they do Dr. Doom any justice. Parents are going to come out of that movie going, don't take anything under 12.
You know they're not going that dark.
But yeah. So literally, as of Sunday, you have 11 months, Caleb.
For what?
That is when Doomsday and Dune release.
Yeah,
so
but
you better
why
make
are you
sure
giving me an 11-month countdown?
Because you need to make sure you're free so we can go see all of this.
There's no way that's happening.
It will.
That means the wife has to be free too. I'm not going to be allowed to go see either one of those movies without her.
You have 11 months to find a babysitter then.
Man.
That's the week before Christmas, man. He ain't doing that shit.
Oh, that might actually work out really well then if that's the case. But I might not be here. I'll probably be in Phoenix, but the grandparents will watch the kids if that's the case.
Ooh.
Hey, if that's the case, though, when I come home,
but at least you'll be able to talk about it. We can talk about
theaters.
It. All right. Okay. All right.
My cards. This is how we'll play them.
Again, there's 11 months. 11 months.
I thought you were trying to get me prepared for the timeline. I'm like, bro, I'm the dude who prefers the director's cut Lord of the Rings and thought 7 Years in Tibet was a great story we're sitting down to hear. So we're good on time.
11 months. 11 months. You need to make sure that you have time and make sure you get to see these movies when they release. Because the minute that they are out, that Tuesday, I don't care if you're here, spoilers. Everywhere.
No.
Everywhere.
No, we have rules.
No, you can't do spoilers.
We changed those rules.
Pinky, what's our rule? You started this a while ago. Is it 14 days?
You can't give out spoilers that quick. That's just not right.
I want to say Pinky used to say it was a 30-day time frame before we could talk about it on the podcast because he had to get people time to see it.
Way too long. You missed the hype on everything by then.
I think that used to be Pinky's rule, though. 30 days.
Way too long.
Well, we'll have to set a new standard, but you can't be talking about it 3 days after the release.
Definitely not.
Then the following Tuesday after that, then.
We'll see what happens. Or maybe we do a special separate episode where we just record us talking all spoilers. And you take it or leave it. Who knows? Final thoughts, gentlemen. Robert, run it.
Man, life is busy. Playoffs are busy. I haven't had I don't even know what a weekend is right now. It's just always something. I'm tired. I'm ready for a break.
Welcome to adulthood.
But all these sports, man, I'm so excited. I'll happily sacrifice sleep for sports any day. So.
Pinky.
I mean, yeah, the divisional round playoffs, sit down, watch some good football, and then watch Indiana become one of the best teams of all time.
Bam. You heard Pinky say it.
I will apologize now. This should have come a long time ago. I have been doing a very poor job of keeping the people up to date on what is upcoming and things they need to watch and entertain themselves with. So I'm going to try to be better about that moving forward. X Games Aspen 2026 this weekend. Let's go. Snowboarding, skiing, snowmobile. It is a blast to watch.
Yeah.
ABC, ESPN.
And the Olympics start here in a
keeping
few
on your
weeks
tablet
too.
or something while the football's on the big screen. I know I'll have it running all weekend. I believe it starts Friday night if I'm remembering correctly, and it'll run through Sunday night. So X Games Aspen 2026, and then there's some other big news. Looks like some live guys will be rejoining the PGA Tour, and we'll see how that plays out. But check out X Games this week with all the other football and everything else going on. On that note, while you're doing that, do it with your inner circle, your family, loved one, friends. Spend that quality moment and time with them whenever the opportunity presents itself. Do not take those moments for granted. Please, if you see buttons when you're watching this, hit all of them. Like, follow, share, support, subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't thank you enough for anyone out there supporting us in any way. We know ball. Whether you agree with us or not is a completely different situation. Until next week.
Football, basketball, baseball, nerdball. Let's do it.
Pinky in the building, rapping orange and blue. Broncos country, yeah, you know how we do. High take so wild, you remember the name. From college ball to the pros, Caleb spitting game. Robert here, the pop culture plug. From comics to racing, pour the drink in the mug. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, yeah, bold talk. Good laughs and a glass in the air. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, right? Kick back, tune in, take a wild side stride.